This is video 39 in the series. This is the what you were seeing at the tail end of the last video. That's video 38, of course. It's the winter of 1707 turning into the summer of 1708. Okay, just finishing off the French turn. We're in the middle of that when we change videos. Okay, looking at the recruitment report. Technology theft stolen again. Doesn't matter, we'll keep going for it. We've got the square formation out of them, so we want the improved grenades now, even though we haven't got any grenadiers. Might give us something to bargain with, though, with other nations. You never know. Always worth trying. Various trade routes, it's telling me about there, that have been raided. Right, Portugal are out of the game, for now. They've been defeated, presumably by Spain. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, looking at our income for next year, did you see that was red? That's not good. See how we can improve that by kicking one of the ministers. Doesn't usually make a lot of difference, but it's worth giving it a try. So we're going to be in the red next go, presumably raiding of trade routes and the very big armies and fleets that I've got around the place, and very little industrious territory, so it's not really coming as a surprise, but we do need to do something about it, of course. Just having a look round, see where everything is. You notice there are 3 ships there in that port. You know what I'm like. I'll be thinking about how I can pop those out so that I can attack them and take the prize money. That's one quick way of making money. Now I've got ships there that fought the French, if you remember, on that invasion attempt, and they're now repaired. So I'm getting those back out into the English Channel. That's just telling me a trade route's been raided by me now. Just looking at the troops I've got, looking around really, because I want to know who's expendable, which infantry unit can I use to get those ships to come out and face my fleet. See all that trade that's been raided down there, what I'm just looking at now? That's what I need to do something about, really. Okay, we've got Westphalia, very, very big, and very close to us. We've got France now building an army which doesn't look like it's going towards the fort. It might be heading towards another part of my territories. Got a fairly decent sized army in there now. Of course we can, I've just checked he's got cavalry in there as well. We can now go into square formation. We've got the plug bayonet. Trouble is, once we use the plug bayonet, as you know, we can't use it again, and if he brings on reinforcements, so if I have one attack and then fire at him and then put in the plug bayonet, so I've got nothing to fire with for the second attack, and it does leave me vulnerable there. Just pondering here now whether to take him on in open battle, and remember his infantry are better than mine. Also, if I was to take him there, he's probably within reach of the capital as well, which means that he'd actually get support from them. His troops in the capital will come on as reinforcements. I lose any benefits that I've got from being in a fortress, of course. So what I'm doing is doing my usual thing of drip feeding infantry units out into Flanders and into that fort that I've got. You might wonder why I occupy a fort, because it doesn't help with resistance in places like Flanders, but he does tend to throw his men away on it instead of attacking Flanders directly. He says, keeping his fingers crossed. Because if he sieges Flanders, you see, I don't get an income from it. I've just got a small unit in there. Oh yes, slight improvement, a very slight improvement in taxes there, in the overall income rather. That will be because I'm raiding that trade route on the English Channel, so it'll be expecting next turn I'll be getting that. I do have to stay on it an entire turn now. Can't see whatever else I've done to improve the tax rate, really. No, nothing at all, really. But it did improve. Took us from the red anyway into a few coppers. What we call coppers. Kleingeld in German, isn't it? Small change. toying with the idea. I've got enough money to repair that. It's worth repairing. Again, thinking about the economy, you know, how can I improve my income? And that, if you looked when I hovered over it, is something that produces quite a good income. Again, toying with the idea, do I attack him, don't I attack him, what do I do? Not an easy one. If I did attack him and joined my forces together and he came out of Paris, which he's likely to do, if I brought my men from that fortress as well and did a joint attack, then at least I'd be attacking the ones in Paris without them being in the fortress, but still having to tackle him there. Okay, this is another great expense of ours, the troops that we've been raising in the Americas. I need to get these chaps to do something for me, so get them on these boats and get them over to some lucrative territory they can capture for me. Select the regular infantry only, leaving the militia behind to look after the port. I've explained that before, it's good to keep infantry in your ports or ships or something anyway. Okay, that's Hispaniola, I should say. Another possible island, another possible target for me. Again, just considering options. You see, they're nearby. If I could take that island, then perhaps lose a unit while I'm doing it, then losing the unit means that my expenditure is less over the end of the term, and also I might even be able to raise an income from the newly captured territory. These are the ones I want to go for. Guatemala and Mexico. As you know, I have toyed with this idea before and then went for Cuba instead. I am going to have to do something with these armies. I know they don't seem particularly large, only say 4 or 5 unit armies, but you know, each one of them costing, I think it's around about 150 a term. You know, that's 600. And bearing in mind I was in the red before I started making the small changes I have done so far, 600 is, well, it's the difference between staying in the game and bankruptcy, really. So, okay, going to take quite some time to do that. Just check the taxation levels in the Americas as well, see what I can do. Yep, I can increase those slightly as well, so that's improved. Again, slightly improved my overall income. We're well out of the red now. Obviously, the longer you stay in a town, the more you can raise from it, because the population becomes more settled. Just checking the India theatre to see if we can do anything there with regard to income. So we can put the ships on his trade route. We've got it there now. Do you remember, I'm feeling a bit more secure now the French fleet had attacked me in Amsterdam. I'm feeling a bit more secure that they're not going to attack me in Ceylon. So I've taken the fleet out of there now and raided a trade route. So again, hoping that will improve my income slightly. Obviously you don't get that until you've been on for a full term. Okay, again looking at taxation levels. There's a temptation here, of course, to reduce your armies, but I don't like to do that, not unless they're just rubbish troops that you're getting rid of. I like to keep them as much as possible. If I'm going to lose troops, I'll lose them in a battle. At least I'm doing damage to the enemy at the same time, rather than just disbanding people. Anyway, we're coming to the end of video 39 now. Is it 39? 38? And again, just pondering the idea of what we're going to do in Europe, or second guessing what he might be considering. Bit of a dilemma here, I'm sure you can see for yourself. Good mix of troops, artillery and cavalry, and his infantry are better than mine. I know I've complained about that enough times before. But, anyhow, middle of the turn. Look forward to the next video.